Well, when I first entered the public relations industry, it was right about 2 or 3, 4 years after World War II, and we were still experiencing, as many people that vintage can recall, an explosion of the consumer needs for products and services. And in turn, the companies which produced those products and services needed people who could do what was loosely known as product publicity. I didn't know anything about public relations. I hadn't studied for it. I had actually gone into radio after I graduated from the University of Alabama. But when I came to Chicago, radio was running scared of television, and there was only one television station in town. And so its applicants were around the block 3 times, and I didn't stand much of a chance. And a woman who gave me my start suggested, she was my mentor, and she suggested that I go over and take a short-term job with an agency which was doing work for the Red Cross campaign. And that was quite a big deal in Chicago in that period. And I said to Duffy, I don't know anything about publicity. And she said, that's all right. She said, you go over and you get the job, you come back and talk to me, and I'll tell you what to do. So I went over and I got the job, because they were pretty desperate for a writer. And I went back and she told me what to do. And then they asked me to stay on full time, and that was how I got my toehold in the business. So most of us in that day and age, in the late 40s, were coming into public relations not having studied for it, because there were no programs of study except very isolated ones. Boston had one, I think. But anyway, they were taking people who could write. And I did have some talent and experience in writing. So that was the basic tool of the trade, and that is what helped me get a toehold in the business. Subsequently, and there were people coming in primarily from journalism, off of editing desks and so forth, who could write. I came in by the way of the radio. There were some teachers who came in, anybody who had a talent that knew how to do something with words and spell correctly and do the grammar with some degree of skill. So that's the way most of us came into the contemporary business.